Today, we're going to dive into the world of data monitoring and observability, two essentials for building trust in your data pipelines, keeping your stakeholders happy, and sleeping well at night. Hey data engineers, Chris here from the Data Engineering channel. Let's break down some of the common vocabulary so that you can talk the talk and walk the walk when it comes to keeping your data systems healthy. Let's jump in. Data monitoring. This means tracking your data systems in real time or near real time to spot problems as they happen. Think of it like a security camera for your data pipelines. If something looks off, you get alerted before it even becomes a disaster. Let's cover some of the common vocabulary here. Metric. This is a numerical measurement like records processed per minute, or error rate, or pipeline latency. Threshold. The upper and lower limit for a metric that triggers an alert. For example, if latency is greater than 5 minutes, send a notification. Alert. This is a notification that something's gone wrong or is about to. This could be an email, a Slack ping, or a dashboard indicator. Dashboard is a visual display of your metrics and alerts. Dashboards really help you to see the big picture and spot issues fast. Heartbeat. This is a signal sent at regular intervals to indicate a process or system is still running. All right, let's jump into observability. This is about understanding why things are happening, not just that they're broken. Think of it as a detective working for your data systems. Observability uses 3 main pillars. Logs is the first one of those pillars. These are text records of events, like error messages, warnings, and process steps. For example, job ABC failed at 2 a.m. Hopefully not very often, right? Metrics. These are quantitative data measures about the system performance, like CPU usage or query response times. Then we have traces. These are end-to-end records that show how a request or data record moved through your system. It is like tracking a package from warehouse to your doorstep when you ordered something off of Amazon. Span. This is a single operation within a trace. Multiple spans make up a full stack trace and help you to pinpoint where delays or errors occur. Data quality monitoring. This is not just about whether your pipeline is running, but how well it's tuned and it's running. The first one of these pieces of vocabulary for this one is anomaly detection. This is spotting outliers in your data before they become disasters. For example, why did we get 10 times more sales records today? Freshness. How up to date is your data? If your dashboard is showing yesterday's numbers, it's time to take a look at what's going on. Completeness. Are you getting all of the records that you expect? Or are some missing in action? Accuracy. Are the data values correct and reliable? It's a big one. For example, are totals matching up across systems? That consistency is incredibly important, and your stakeholders will call you out on it every time. Lineage. Understanding the path your data is taken from source to destination, so you can trace issues all the way back to their origin. Drift. You've heard me talk about schema drift before. Drift is when the structure or meaning of your data changes unexpectedly, causing potential downstream issues. All right, incident response. This is how you react when things go wrong. Runbook is a step-by-step guide for responding to common incidents. Think of it as your data disaster recovery. Root cause analysis, RCA, digging into what really caused the incident. You could sometimes hear this referred to as peeling back the onion, so that you could prevent these issues from occurring in the future. Escalation. This is the process of bringing in more senior engineers or specialists when an issue is complex or urgent. Here are some common tools that you might hear about in these situations. Prometheus and Grafana. These are tools that are used for metrics collection and visualization. Datadog is a big one, and you might hear about PagerDuty. These are for alerts and incident response management. We also have OpenTelemetry for standardized tracking and observability of pipelines. Now finally, for data quality monitoring and validation, we have a few great ones here. Great Expectations, Monte Carlo, and Datafold. Then we also have Airflow, DBT, and Elation for workflow lineage tracking. All right, let's talk about a few other, vocabulary words that really sneak in here when we're talking about these situations. We have SLAs. These are service level agreements. You don't hear this probably real often in data engineering. You probably didn't learn about it in school, but this is what you promise your users. Like, I swear that we're going to have 99.9% uptime. SLO. These are service level objectives. These are your internal targets, like pipeline completeness in under 10 minutes, 95% of the time. SLI. These are service level indicators. This is something that you hear real often in call center metrics. These are the actual measurements of performance. Example might be average latency was 7 minutes last month. A few more key terms here when we'll get through it. We have latency. Now this is one that you probably know about if you've been in IT much. Latency is the time it takes for data to move from source to destination. You often see latency, hear this word when you're talking about websites loading or tools loading. Throughput. This is the volume of data processed in a given time period. We have backfill, which is reprocessing of historical data to fill the gaps caused by outages or errors. Next, we have false positives and false negatives. This is when an alert triggers when it shouldn't, which would be a false positive, or misses a real issue, which is a false negative. And then finally, we have noise. You hear this a lot. Noise is excessive or irrelevant alerts that can lead to alert fatigue. You also hear noise when you are talking about things like dashboards that are overfilled with visualizations. It's just a bunch of, you'll hear, especially leaders talk about, it's just a bunch of noise, or I can't see beyond the noise. So this is a common terminology that you're going to hear in business and in data. So whether you are building pipelines, dashboards, or entire data platforms, knowing these terms are going to help you design robust, trustworthy systems. If you have more data monitoring vocabulary that I missed that you'd like to add, let me know down in the comments. And if you found this helpful, be sure to hit like and subscribe, and hit that bell icon for more data engineering tips. Until next time, keep your pipelines clean and your queries lean.